touchdown from so good on them for that. And then another touchdown on top of that from Jaden Blue. But transitioning and do you have any rapid fire thoughts on the offense before we transition to defense?
No, I agree with you on Adnan Mitchell. Adnan Mitchell, huge, big, but this is 2 touchdowns, 3 catches on 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 2 touchdowns on 2 catches. This is what we brought Adnan here to the 40 acres to do. This is what we brought him home to do.
And this is the type of stuff you can sell too. You can be like, you see Adnan Mitchell, all he did was catch touchdowns.
Yeah, they are the finest, man. We bought Mo City's finest home. You know what I'm saying? We bought him home, and he's a long. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
For sure.
So I agree with you. And then Xavier Worthy, man.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say shout out X-Men.
He's special. X is special. You know, anybody who doubts that Xavier Worthy is one of the top wide receivers in the nation, you're smoking bum boy. You know, he's one of the top receivers in the nation, and you cannot doubt who he is. He is the man. X-Man is the man.
When is the last time we had a receiver of this caliber on our campus?
Roy Williams.
So it's been a very long time. Guys enjoy having X.
Yeah, Roy Williams. I mean, let's say this. I got to be honest with you. Quan Cosby was, it was great having Quan because he was a great possession receiver. He got open and he hit you he would hit you for long ones. So would he plays for the Baltimore Ravens right now. What's his name?
Devin Duvernay.
Same kind of, but they not X. X is a different dude.
What's funny is I was trying to think of like modern Longhorns, and what you would have to do to get X is add players together. And no shots at them, because I loved when they were here on the campus, and I love what they went on to do. Well, one of them, but this would be Devin Duvernay and Little Jordan Humphrey. If you combine them together, then you get Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
just not as big, not the body type, but the game.
Yeah, agree.
But transitioning to defense, Pete. Man, he's
best play call game that Pete has had this year. Pete, take my hat off.
Are you taking your hat off? Don't take it. Okay, that's big.
Tip my hat to you, Pete. It's just the way you call a game. Pressure bust a pipe, and you busted that young man today. It's the first time I ever seen Pete bring pressure. And I'm telling you, Jade balled out. Definitely. I seen Jalen Ford coming up, filling the gaps, playing downhill. Anthony Hill should have had a interception today.
Yeah, he dropped it.
And it was the first time I seen Ryan Watts actually play respectable. I mean, Pete, you called a good game, man. You called a good game. Good job.
I like Ryan Watts, by the way. I think he's pretty good or pretty decent. But yeah, man, this is a total victory. Like I said, this is the type of thing where this is how we should be beating teams on a week-to-week basis. This complete because we can. We have the personnel to. Now, going back to the bad or the ugly parts of this game. We are losing players. We are losing men on the field, in the secondary, where we cannot afford to lose men, especially not going into Kansas State. But yeah, no, great game plan. Keaton Slovis seemed like, that's what I was gonna say. When you do stuff like this, when you have this good of a team, you should make good quarterbacks play okay. You should make bad quarterbacks play awful. And they made a bad quarterback play worse. Keaton Slovis just wanted to give the ball to us. Like those, hey, I don't really want this. You want it? I found it. You want it? That's what Keaton Slovis was doing.
They gave this to me. I would really like for you guys to have it,
Right. And that's the type of defense. And up to this point, we had really only seen that in Bama and Baylor, where a quarterback came into the game and they regressed. Most of the quarterbacks have either from thrived against the Texas defense to played decently. So hopefully we can see that next week. We got a test in front of us next week. And
We're
so
gonna get to that one, but let me say this, man. Let me say this about what you said. I wholeheartedly agree. They made a bad quarterback play worse, right? Pete made him because of his run blitzing. Remember, I told you blitz a defensive team, or excuse me, you blitz a running quarterback, and you blitz into the run, and you make a team one dimensional. You don't always blitz, but you come out of that shell coverage that they was expecting you to be in, and you started sending people, and then you start confusing him by backing out of what looked like a blitz situation. And then it was like, hey, but I think maybe I'm finna give Pete some credit. Maybe with Jade being hurt, and maybe with Ryan Watts being hurt, he didn't feel comfortable blitzing and leaving people out because maybe he thought he was going to give up the big play. But I tell you,
gave up the big play anyway, though.
It's one of the things to me that today Pete called a great game. He sent pressure. Yeah. He sent pressure from the nickel corner, just like I said. You send pressure from that nickel corner. You send pressure from up the top. I even saw the linebacker scrape and come around on a blitz. My question is, where was number 33? Where was number 33?
Benda? David Benda?
Yeah, was Benda hurt?
I am not sure. Team interceptions. I'm trying to see if they posted the defense yet.
No, they haven't posted it yet. I'm sitting here looking at our team stats. They didn't post them yet.
I'm curious as to see what because I don't think there were any explosive plays.
Oh, they did just put them up. They did just put them up.
Yeah, I'm curious as what the longest completion was and what the longest run was. But if I was to say that there were zero explosive plays, I don't think anybody would be surprised by that, because it was just a great play calling that the team executed well. Got into the backfield, sacking the quarterback. Like this is the type of stuff we're capable of doing. But
where have we been hiding Justice Finkley? My God, we need Justice Finkley needs to get into the game. I understand.
What was his stats?
He plays behind Burke, but we need him to play. I mean, he 5 tackles, one solo, 4 assists, right? But he had the last play that caused the I think it was the interception, or was it? No, he caused the fumble. He had the last one that caused the fumble. And I'm telling you, that was a sack, and we needed that. We needed that one. We needed it. Barron Sorrell got credit for a sack too. But I would really like to see Finkley get some of Sorrell's action. Burke is the dog on the line, and I would love to see Finkley get some of Barron Sorrell's action for real. But in
Watts was on the field, but we didn't see him. I don't think he played too much, but he was on the field. He's on the box score. Jalen Ford, shout out to you, man. You had a all Big 12 day. 11 total tackles, 4 solo, 1 tackle, 4 loss. No interceptions yet, but man, dude doing his thing. That's the type of performance we needed from you and have been needing from you. Justice Finkley, like you said, sack, Anthony Hill, like the whole defense. I'm looking for who had those interceptions. I know Gavin Holmes had one.
Brooks and Taft. Brooks and Taft. Taft is a local Austin kid. Brooks, who's a walk-on that actually walked on to a scholarship. And then Brooks, who's starting to come on at cornerback. In conclusion, I just want to talk about what we're looking for, and then we'll kind of preview Kansas State, and then we'll get out of here.
Oh, we got to say the bad stuff. We haven't talked about any bad stuff yet.
We'll get to that on Monday. We'll let everybody get it. Right now, we want you guys to savor this win. Texas is 4-1 in the conference, 7-1 overall, on a 2-game winning streak. Oklahoma lost today, which really made me sad. I mean, I really dislike Oklahoma, but I only wanted to play them again in the conference championship. and I think it took away. We'll see tonight once we get the NCAA first. It's going to give us our first look at the playoff tonight. So we'll see where they
tomorrow
put it.
night, right?
Yeah, no, that's tonight. They're going to give us our first look tonight. But Oklahoma's 4-1, 7-1, and then Kansas State 4-1. Iowa State is 4-1, and Oklahoma State is. We don't play Oklahoma State, but they're 3-1.
Thank God we don't play Oklahoma State.
This is what we have to contend with. Somehow or another, Kansas State is always in there, man. They're always like our Achilles heel, bro.
That's one I'm gonna miss. There's not too many from the Big 12, and I love Big 12 football. But there's not too many I'm gonna miss playing. I'm not gonna miss Baylor. Tech smells like tortillas. I'm not gonna miss them. TCU, they squirt blood from their eyes. I don't like that either. It's too messy. But I like Kansas State. Every time I get to measure myself against the Wildcat, I like to. Their coach is good. They're kind of the class of the league, and I like playing them. And so I'm gonna miss that series.
Yeah. So on just to kind of tie it up in a bow, man. What do you give this overall game? What do you give Texas? Pete and Sark together combined, what grade do they get?
I think this is, oh man, we just sung their praises, but if you do this stuff in the red zone, that's really big. We need to stop leaving points on the table. Who else leaves it? Like it's not good teams that usually are leaving points on the table like this. It's bad teams that do this, but we know we're not a bad team, right? Like I for a second last week, I was like, are we the Minnesota Vikings of college football? But this win makes me think no. And so for a letter grade, I think I can't give them any higher than a B because we're seeing still some of the same issues. However, we're just seeing it with a different cast of characters.
I give them a B plus. This is the best called game from both sides of the ball, best overall game that I've seen outside of Alabama. And
yeah,
I'm really excited.
For sure.
I'm really excited about it. Well, we'd like to thank you guys for watching our post-game review, and definitely we're going to get into it and listening to our post-game review. Those of you who are listening on Spotify and Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, definitely make sure that you tune in. I'm excited. We're going to get back to you guys on Monday, and we're going to talk and dig into the game just a little more and then talk about the Kansas State game. Sensei, go ahead. Tell them where they can find you, man.
We are chosen. X is where the O is supposed to be. At that on all platforms. You can go and search that on Apple Music. You might be surprised by some decent music. You can go search that on Instagram. You might be surprised by some decent pictures. You can search Burn Orange Boys. I got Mom Sports coming out on Tuesday of this week. We're going to finish that Jimmy Butler saga. Your boy's doing a lot. Just check me out. Give me some feedback. I would love to hear from you. Hook 'em.
Yeah, man. And of course, you can catch us here in Know It Alls. You're watching it today on the Know It Alls YouTube. Definitely check us out there. And we'll be here. I'll be here on Sunday to review all of the games tomorrow. And I'm excited because my Cowboys have a noon game. But as for myself and for Sensei, we're out of here. We'll talk to you later. Peace.